From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Reading will kill you. Books,
Leonard
books will
Nimoy.
kill you.
If you keep that up, I swear to God. So, AJ, I have a question for you. Do you feel like jumping into an adventure with me? Technically, you did jump into an adventure with me. Yes, you did. May 3rd, 2020, you jumped into an adventure with me.
I'll tap.
Bite me.
I'll tap 3 and send my Ironback Giant. I don't remember its exact game on an adventure. It'll deal 2 damage to any target.
I'll let you think about it while I continue with the podcast.
Fuck, it happened on May 3rd, 2020.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rob.
I'll let you think about it. Don't worry, I'll tell you by the end of the
Rob,
episode.
why do you have books? They'll kill you.
This one might. The collected works of Edgar Allan Poe. Oh no.
Did you forget to turn your mic on again? No. That's weird.
Hello? Hello? Okay, there it is. I had to reset my Yeti mic. Apparently it's showing its age. But, yeah, that whole open was great, and I fucked it up again.
Hey, AJ, how old is your Yeti?
3 years? I got it last December. Not last December, December of 2019.
Wait, you didn't get it in 1994 like this movie?
No, I did not. But yeah, we're talking about the Pagemaster, which, as you can see by the wonderful cover art that James Fair made, it's got Christopher Lloyd, Macaulay Culkin, Whoopi Goldberg, Patrick Stewart, Leonard Nimoy. But yeah, now that I actually said all that and you freaking can hear me, hi everybody. Hi Rob.
Hi.
Thanks,
Hi, Will.
Thanks for bringing the weapons. Appreciate it.
I brought the set. We have a horror in the collected works of Edgar Allan Poe. We have fantasy in Lord of the Rings.
Uh-huh.
And this is a Warhammer 40k book, which I'll classify as a adventure.
We're gonna classify that as an adventure book.
As an adventure book, but I would never want to go there.
No.
What do you mean you don't
That
want to
just
go
sounds
there?
like a bad time.
No, that's fun.
No, it isn't. Even the people who like Warhammer don't want to go to the Warhammer world.
Well, they are cowards and they are weak.
All right, so we're talking about this. Would you call it an animation or live action? I know it's combo, but I would kind of throw it in the animation standpoint because the majority of the movie is done in animation. But Susie, let's kind of get into those questions. Actually, let me go pull those up because I've yet to read those, to be honest with you. Not gonna lie.
I only have 4 of them because I was in a meeting.
Okay.
When I realized
well,
I have questions.
before we get into your questions, what is everybody's thoughts about the animation style of the movie?
It's 90s, so it's superior.
I mean, I liked it. It's 20th century Fox animation.
Okay, to be fair, I'm probably comparing it to the new style animation, which, depending on the show and the movie, triggers me. So.
Wait, there's a show called The Pagemaster?
Huh?
You said the movie and the show. Okay.
He's asking if there's a show.
Pairing the movie and the animation style to today's movies and TV shows and their animation styles And depending on the movie or TV show, they suck.
Oh, I would have taken care of it. I just didn't know what to do. No, I wasn't comparing it to nowadays. I was comparing it to 1994. You know, Lion King. I think.
I was gonna say Pagemaster, how its animation style was actually kind of holds its own against current day stuff.
That's kind of where I was going. I don't compare it to Disney because it's different animators and it's a different type of storytelling.
Disney beats all of our asses. It's fine.
Yeah, this was a Turner animation film, and let's be honest here, it bombed. It bombed hard.
Really?
All the work they put into it did not come out.
Well,
it was in a budget of 34 million. It made 13 million at the box office.
Yeah.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, it did not do well, but it's.
I actually really enjoyed it, but
You don't feel comfortable calling it a cult classic because most people that you talk to have no idea what this movie is.
What
But it was one of my favorites growing up.
Rob, while you got your phone right there, what's the tomato score on it? I'm just curious.
Actually, no, I'm curious.
All right, let me look.
Well, he's
Perception 21%.
ouch.
With an average rating of 4.4 out of 10.
Ouch.
What's the audience score?
I think the audience score was the 4.4
Yeah.
out of 10.
See, the only problem that I have with Tomato and like a couple of the ratings is some of my favorite movies don't do well in box office. And yet they're my favorite movies because they're so far out of the realm of expected that they work.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah. The Pagemaster hurts. This hurts my soul.
Macaulay Culkin almost got a Razzie Award for this.
Can you imagine
Which, if you don't know what a Razzie is, it's a bad thing.
Yeah, it's
And
a
he
bad
lost
award
it-
for actors.
He lost it out to Kevin Costner and Wyatt Earp.
Ooh.
Good.
Ooh.
But yeah, this, I don't know. I wouldn't call it a cult classic, but it's definitely one of my favorites. But it sits in a niche that it's something you have to be interested in.
Mhm.
I think that was part of its problem is like it wasn't all over the place, but it was like it's a specific like it's set for a specific like group.
I honestly thought it was going to be boring and stupid as shit, but I actually found myself like really into it.
This man doesn't trust me.
I
Like,
mean-
why
I
would I
mean-
recommend a movie that I thought was that I would think you would be bored with?
Hey,
Well, you
keep it
may
going. I'll be right
find
back.
It could be someone else's boring, and that's not being insulting. That's just being like, you like things that I don't, and I like things that you don't.
Yeah, but I don't tend to recommend like movies or TV shows that I think somebody else wouldn't enjoy.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Because I kind of get a feel for somebody else's like what they like and what they don't like in a movie
Mhm.
before I
But
recommend
yeah,
something.
like I like the Pagemaster, but reading it on like what it's about on the surface level, like I was like, how would I? When I first watched this movie, I was like, how the hell would I like this? Like, there's no way I'm liking this movie. There's no
Yeah,
way. This
And a lot of
this
people
fine
thought
stuff. And
that.
then I watched it and I was like, huh, this actually wasn't bad.
Yeah, a lot of people thought going into this that it was going to be crap because it is literally a kid going through books.
Yeah.
That material alone made it so that no matter what they did, it would bomb in the box office because you're trying to market a book centric film towards kids.
See, yes, I agree with you, but I also would like to add that I think in some ways this was a ploy to get kids to go to like the library, check out books, like read more. And I think they fell short because of the way that they described the movie. Because I was definitely more interested in reading after I watched this movie. Like I was already reading, but like I was more interested in it. So I feel like if they had better marketing, better I don't know, better something. Maybe it
Yeah,
might have done better.
I think the marketing was part of the problem here, because it wasn't the casting.
No, they had
The
an all-star
It
cast.
was
Like,
literally a AAA cast. Like, I don't understand how this movie bombed with the cast it had. Like, if you look at this on like just the casting alone, how did this movie do bad with people like Christopher Lloyd, Whoopi Goldberg, Leonard fucking Nimoy?
Jim Cummings was in
the,
it.
the top 3 starring characters, well, 4 if you want to count Frank Welker, but Macaulay Culkin, who was a hit at the time because of both Home Alone movies, Patrick Stewart, who was coming off of The Next Generation, Star Trek,
Whoopi
huge
Goldberg,
actor,
who was also coming off of Star Trek.
and all of her stuff. Like, did the Sister Act come out yet?
I have no idea.
No, I think the Sister Act came later, but let me check.
Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg was still a big actor at the time. But the problem is, other than Macaulay Culkin, everyone else was an older actor that wasn't for kids.
Sister Act 1 was before, by the way. It was in 92.
Yeah.
Okay, but she was
God, I feel old.
No. I'm just saying that's just when
But
Sister Act
also,
came out.
Jim Cummings was in this, and he's a well-known, popular like voice actor.
Yes,
that
yes, he
all
is.
kids grew up knowing.
Tigger.
Yeah.
He sung half
Like,
of Be
if you hear his name,
Prepared.
you know exactly who he is.
You at least know one character he has played.
He's the cat from oh God, what is it called? Rescue Rangers, the big bad cat. He's also the Firefly.
Yeah. But most kids, like, you grow up knowing the name Jim Cummings. So I don't think it's the casting that was the problem. It was definitely marketing. I don't even know how I ended up with this movie and how I fell in love with it, because my mother, I think it's a tradition my mom and I started. We just started watching all the movies that got like terrible reviews. And those are like some of my favorite movies.
I have a big VHS cabinet that was just filled with movies, and my parents would just throw movies in there that they think I'd watch just to shut me up for a few hours.
Yeah, my parents found
Pagemaster was in there.
Yeah, my parents have started. We started upgrading all of my VHSs to DVDs and Blu-rays. This was one of the first ones that I got, and I literally took it out of its packaging, immediately popped it into my DVD player, and just sat and watched it for hours. My mom's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No."
All right, so
I'm gonna sit here for a
how about
while.
we get to them? How about we get to them questions?
So what are your thoughts on the plot? I know we talked a lot about like the marketing aspect of it and a little bit about the plot, but like, do you feel like this was a good plot, like it was a good story overall, or do you feel like, there was some bits missing, they really kind of, it was too broad and they should have narrowed it? Like, what do you think? I'm going to start with Will behind me.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't remember like jack shit about this movie. We watched it on Sunday, and I kept flickering in and out. But
I left it in the DVD player for him to watch.
you need to tell me these things. But anywho, I can at least answer this question to someone. I think it was like the plot flowed in one direction, but I think it was still a little too all over the place about it. It never seemed like straightforward. You just kind of were just bouncing around the plot points, though it still went in one direction, but that one direction, instead of being like a narrow line like this, was like a row line like this, so you could just go ping pong, ping pong, ping pong. It's basically like a giant game of pong.
Brick break.
What are your thoughts
What was the question again?
on the plot? What are your thoughts on the plot?
It was linear. It was nice. It was like starting point, next point, next point. It was easy to follow. Honestly, it wasn't all thrown at you at once as a lot of movies are, and it was nice. It was easy to follow, and it was a good ride to go on. Honestly, I think people should go check it out.
I I think that should be a ride. Rob, what about you?
I think it had a shaky start. Like the first 5 minutes before they get into the animation was a little bit. I chuckled at a few parts, like with him suiting up into the safety gear going on his trip to the hardware store. Because I honestly, for a moment there, I thought he was on a safety scooter. So, but I shaky start. But once it set up the library, we got into the Pagemaster proper. I felt it really got going, especially once we got introduced to adventure, fantasy, and horror. From there, it took you through all the different realms, which we can get to soon. But I did like the rest of the plot.
Yeah, I think, at least for me, I always hate the beginning of this movie. I always feel like it's too slow and it's not. It's crucial to the plot. Like, don't get me wrong, but like I for some reason always want to just fast forward through there and get to the library.
You're not the only one. When I watched
I'm
it
like-
again, I did the exact same thing.
And like Christopher Lloyd is one of my favorite actors. So I always love when we get to his scenes and we get to really start in on the story. And this, I love the fact that we bounce from different realms, and it's, for the most part, it's linear. I can see where Will's coming from with the ping pong, but at least for me, it's linear. Like there's a point A, a point B, a point C, but how they get to each point is kind of awesome. So I mean, for me, I really like the plot. I think the beginning's a little too slow, especially since the rest of the movie is like jam-packed and like fast-paced and everything. So it's just, I don't know. But I do like the fact that the ending kind of matches the beginning and the slowness. So there's something. What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm playing with my hand.
Oh, okay. Do you have a favorite realm?
Horror.
Adventure. Actually, fantasy.
I really liked horror. Mostly for Jekyll and Hyde, but yeah. Reminded me of the Five Finger Death Punch song.
I would have to say probably horror was my favorite. But I do like the fact that, like, adventure, we go to Treasure Island.
Yep.
So I like
Book,
the fact that they
book
brought-
accurate Treasure Island, by the way.
Yes.
He's missing his leg.
So I think for like, yeah, I have a favorite realm, but I really can't pick one because they pick amazing stories for us to delve into. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They pick Treasure Island. I don't remember what the fantasy one is off the top of my head.
Wasn't it just a dragon?
The fantasy was technically his fantasy.
Okay.
Because if we're going off of it kind of goes off of the monomyth at that point, because there's no specific story about a single dragon.
Yeah.
But him beating his dragon is his monomyth. He's defeating his enemy. My favorite has to be horror. As noted by the gigantic Edgar Allan Poe omnibus, Thunk. This is the first book I ever purchased for myself.
I'm going to interrupt you for just a second. Rob, fantasy is a twist on Jack and the Beanstalk.
That's only because of how he beat it.
Yeah, how he beats the dragon. So I just wanted to throw that in there, that there is actually a story inside the dragon one, but there you go. You can have the floor back, Rob.
Yeah. And I did like they had a singular Edgar Allan Poe reference in horror. I wish they had more. I'm not exactly sure what Edgar Allan Poe story you could do, because every one of these books ends with everyone dying.
You get a death, and you get a death, and you get a death.
There's like two of them that I can think of right now that I would love to see a portrayal of. But I don't know that I would want to see it in a kids movie.
Yeah.
Throw that out there. I don't know that I'd want to see it in a kids movie. But Edgar Allan definitely has some really good stories that I'd love to see redone.
The Nevermore was probably the safest they could get away with.
Yes. Absolutely. And if you've never read Edgar Allan Poe, trust us, you should read it, and two,
this is a trip.
Don't read them all at once.
Just like I
Talking
did.
from experience, Susie?
Yes.
This actually hurts
for that one.
You will have
This hurts
nightmares.
my wrist a lot.
Nightmares, but I did think that there was a heart under my floorboards for a while. Wasn't a nightmare, but I did think there was a heart under my floorboards for a while. So, yeah,
I've actually read that one.
most people have it. It's a classic in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. I read a lot for my English class in college.
So don't lie. You just read a lot in general. Don't blame it on the English class in college.
By the way, 1990s. They can get away with alcohol in a kids movie, even though it technically wasn't alcohol.
Yeah, I do have to say though that I like the 90s because they got away with so much, and like it was fun. So for my next question, I have favorite character. No. I think for me, my favorite character would have to be horror.
Yeah.
Because he's so sad. He's so sad.
He's supposed to be a play on either Frankenstein's the monster or what is it? Dracula's assistant. I always forget his name.
Oh, Igor?
Igor.
No, not Dracula.
Well, no. That's Frankenstein's aide.
I always thought he was a play on Frankenstein over Dracula's assistant, but I see how you got there, and now it's gonna bug me until I remember Dracula's assistant's name.
Because Dracula's assistant was in the second book, or it could have been in a movie. I don't remember. My favorite character, however,
Oh, Renfield.
Renfield.
I was like, I'll get there, but I'm gonna have to Google it. It's gonna bug me.
I doubt anyone would seriously think of Renfield as horror.
Yeah,
So probably the monster.
Yeah, I really thought he was. I mean, they describe it on Wikipedia as a fearful hunchback with a misshapen spine. So, I mean, I would go with Frankenstein, only because I don't feel like this is a play on The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is a very interesting book if you ever get a chance to read it.
Yeah. My favorite realm? Or
No, favorite character. Favorite character.
Your favorite character.
My favorite character is gonna have to be Adventure. Because Patrick Stewart, I did not recognize his voice. He owns this character. And goddamn it, I'm not sucked into the screen every time he's talking.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sucked into the screen every time he's talking anyway.
Dude, I had no clue that was Patrick Stewart, and I'm right there with Rob. I was like, what? Because I just found that out, what, a half hour ago?
Yeah, about 20 minutes ago is when you found that out.
Yeah, had no clue whatsoever. But holy crap. Plus, he's just a good character. He has a nice arc of being, all about him. A book all about him.
You good over there?
No, I'm not.
You could say it's poetic.
At least it's not pathetic.
No, that's me.
No, that's Poe.
I'm empathetic.
You're empathetic, not empathetic.
No, it's telepathetic.
There you go. You'll get there.
No, I won't.
So AJ, is that your favorite character too? Adventure?
Yes, it is 100%. It was either him or horror, and I just felt like there was a lot more with adventure.
Yeah, see, horror for me, it's how he walks away. You know, he's like all sad and he's just all disappointed and he walks away and he just...
Well, you also like Eeyore too, so it makes sense. Like,
huh?
You also like Eeyore, so it makes sense.
Eeyore's the best.
See, the point exactly.
Will, do you have a favorite character?
I actually don't. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
He just likes them all.
He does. I also have to make him sit and rewatch the movie. It's fine.
Will, you're
Okay.
trying to say that the dragon's not your favorite character?
Yeah! The dragon's not your favorite character?
Dragon gets spit out of beanstalk.
Listen, here's the thing.
Over here really quick.
I don't remember the dragon. Therefore, I cannot declare the dragon my favorite character because I don't remember if it even spoke.
It didn't. It breathed fire, I thought.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I thought that.
So, if you want to know my favorite animal in the movie, it was most clearly the dragon. But as a character, come here, puppy. This is my puppy. You can't have him.
We don't want him.
Good. But as characters go, none of them really stuck out to me enough to feel like, yeah, that character is mine. Puppy, I'm gonna need you to chill.
Will is kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs here.
Today? Yes. So my last question that I have is, do you have a favorite genre to read?
Do audiobooks count? But that's not reading.
There's still books.
There's still books.
Genre.
Genre has nothing to do with how you read it. It's the sci-fi, fantasy, romance, nonfiction, fiction.
Does manga count?
Yeah, manga counts. Manga counts. It's audiobooks and actually like reading books. That doesn't matter. It's like what genre they take place in.
Uh-huh.
For me, I'm all over the place. I'm literally all over the place. The only thing I won't read is nonfiction. I don't like nonfiction.
Yeah, you deal with enough real shit.
My favorite to read right now is, I would have to call it fantasy, because I've been reading a lot of werewolf and vampire stories. But otherwise I kind of deviate towards sci-fi. Will is manga. There's a particular genre of manga?
Yes, but I kind of don't want to say.
Is it romance?
Is it
People make fun of me, okay?
Is it romance?
No,
That's a yes. We love you anyway for it.
no. People make fun of me.
who makes fun of you?
Are you?
It ain't
Be
us.
surprised.
It ain't us.
Nope.
They're like, oh, you like romance, manga, and anime? Hell, fucking yeah, I do.
Okay.
Own it.
Yeah, no shit.
Own it.
No.
Rob, do you have a favorite genre?
Uh,
Would
What
you,
have you done to him?
would you like me to skip you and go back to AJ?
don't make me choose. They're
I
all
didn't
special.
choose. I like all of them. I just said what I tried to gravitate towards.
I'd have to go with either urban fantasy, stuff like Dresden Files. If you want a TV show, something like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but I don't like Buffy.
I forgot urban fantasy existed.
How could you forget urban fantasy exists?
Because my brain lumps it into fantasy, so a lot of the books that I read are considered urban fantasy, but my brain just lumps it into the big overall genre.
Oh, so Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
That's urban fantasy.
Yeah.
And I'd have to say science fiction. Science fiction would be my go-to.
Yeah.
If you include superheroes in science fiction,
I would
Ta-ta-ta-ta.
put science
because
fiction.
sometimes superheroes fall under urban fantasy.
Yeah. No, I'm so all over the place, but I know where I tend to gravitate to when I go to the bookstore. So that's kind of what I'm like. That's kind of my favorite genre to read. I that's where I gravitate to. That's
Currently, I'm reading the entirety of Gaunt's Ghosts. I have the first omnibus and the other 2 omnibuses over there that I need to start reading. But these are really good books. They're based on the Warhammer Fantasy, the Warhammer 40k world. Super good science fiction.
AJ, do you have a genre that you tend to listen to?
I usually stick with I guess fantasy and everything, because I do Harry Potter. The Hunger Games was big a couple years ago with me, listening to those. So, and also sometimes even in the fantasy stuff. The Kingdom Keeper shit. Those are fun. What?
They actually have a genre. The fuck is their genre?
Isn't it fantasy?
Most of it, yeah, but some of it is it falls under a specific type of fiction. I just don't remember what it is offhand, because if you go to a bookstore, it's listed under fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you look it up, there's like multiple subgenres to fantasy. So why were you beating something up?
Oh, because I was gonna make the joke again. Do I want to make the joke?
What's going on?
But you still take the Avada Kedavra.
I never have. I'm still here. I've dodged it every time. Sometimes it even amazes me.
All right, I think that's our questions.
Yeah, that was our questions. I would like to move forward from this, please. Will, where can people find you?
Avada Kedavras?
That sounds dirty.
That definitely
Can
sounds.
you
does
rephrase
sound
that,
dirty.
please?
All right. Cadavering your Avadas.
Okay,
That's
that sounds
not
even
much
worse.
better. Rob,
Sir,
where
this-
can people find you? Because I'm done with this drain hole.
Don't worry, you can find me on my Christian Minecraft server where we roleplay Lord of the Rings.
Bruh, I'm the admin of the Christian Minecraft server. Don't be advertising that shit.
What the
Hey,
actual?
no swearing
Don't
on this.
We have class
Nope.
every Tuesday.
No cussing on this Christian Minecraft server game.
Bruh, I can swear my own fucking Christian Minecraft server. By
Language.
goddamn choose.
Language.
That's true. Oh, that's. Oh no.
Minecraft server.
Oh. So, AJ,
Oh dear, I didn't do it. I
started
swear.
this podcast by telling you that you and I have been on an adventure for almost 3 years now. It started on May 3rd of 2020. And have you figured out what we started on May 3rd of 2020?
I went through everything. It can't be the podcast because that started May 23rd.
Well, I must have missed a 2 then when I wrote it down, because I wrote it down.
Oh,
It's on a sticky.
maybe that's when our show is that we're doing.
But yeah, so 3 years ago, you started an adventure with me.
Da 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 da.
Now you can no longer say that you never started an adventure with me because you did. And we're going on an adventure next weekend.
Yeah. Oh boy. That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna get slept on again.
Slept on.
Slept on. Whatever. Whatever.
Hey, we're talking about books, man. We have to be accurate to the dictionary.
Rob, it is me.
So
I'm
just a
lucky
dick.
he speaks English any day of the week.
All right. Don't shoot that far. Jesus.
So hey AJ,
Oh shit. Yes.
I need to hear the dulcet tones of Rob Paulson, please.
Oh, okay. Let me not fuck this up now. All right, Rob Paulson, take it away.
Hey, you guys, this is 625 here from Lilo and Stitch. Some people think of me as AJ Coppola. I don't care. Just follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, Twitch at NDTA Jalistar15, and Xbox and PSN at AJ Allstar 15. I should have said AJ Allstar, but I'm a sandwich maker. What the hell do I know? Do yourself a favor. Go get yourself a hot fudge marshmallow tuna fish and ham sandwich. All right? Take care of yourself. Goodbye.
All right, everybody, this was our Pagemaster episode. Next week, we're going and watching and talking about a movie, again, another movie that I've never seen, The Never-Ending Story, so we might actually be here for a while, because apparently it never ends.
It never
really doesn't. I love it.
All right.
We're gonna make it cry. It's great.
Peace out, everybody. We'll see you on Monday? Probably Monday for the next Last of Us episode, and then Tuesday.
Monday for Last of Us, and then Tuesday for the Never-Ending Story.
Atreyu!
Falcor!
That's more accurate.
I do not understand either one of those, so bye, everybody.
Bill.
Atreyu!
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.